Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today with another video of trying Zoologist perfumes in real time. Yeah, here we are. So we are trugging along, and what I'm going to do is I still have the same box. I do still have the ones in vials. I have to put them all together, so we're going to go back to the ones that are actually in packages because I need to set the other ones up. But this one, we are good to go. It is already in here. There's a whole bunch of them, but I am missing about 12 cents because of that. And I want to go back and forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up because I don't want anyone thinking I'm not picking random ones. I mean, not that anyone cares, but I know, and I always do the 1-2. What is it? What is it? This one's burning a hole in my hand. I don't know why. This one. I'm kind of scared, but yet excited. Koala. Okay, a very unassuming creature. Actually, one of my favorite videos that I like to watch. If you're in a bad mood, though, it's kind of sad for the koala. Nothing happens to the koala. I won't watch anything where anything happens to animals. Trust. But look it up. It's about a little koala who is in a tree, and a bigger koala kicks him out because, you know, they get strange about their territory, and this little guy cries like a 2-year-old. It is the strangest yet cutest, most like aw thing you've ever seen. And you're like, I want to hug this little guy, but then you see their claws and you're like, I don't want to see it. Go check it out because I love that one. Maybe I'll link it below because that video, that's what I think of when I think of koalas. When I think of koalas, I know this is like memory lane here. When I was a little girl, my dad traveled a lot. And he brought us back some little clippy things, and they were animals, and mine was a koala, and I still have it. Where you put it on like your bag, your backpack or whatever, and it's a little koala. I still have it. So koalas have a very special place in my heart, though I've never seen one live. One day I will, and I'll be careful of those drop koalas, right? So this is what we're doing today is koala. Good memories, good times, good scents. Hopefully. Okay. Whoops. So here's this sweet little face. Hopefully it shows in the light. Look at that sweet little boy. Anyway, I know I'm talking to it like it's a German Shepherd. Look at that sweet little boy. Ooh, he's a good boy. That thing would... Look, it's protecting itself. I can't be upset. So, let's see. A cloak of rich green velvet sweeps across the Australian horizon. The majestic eucalyptic, forest flattering every curve of the undulating landscape. So it's going to be eucalyptus. I'm not a huge fan of eucalyptus, but I'm going to be for today. So basically opens an invigorating blend of lemon, honey, and the sweet aroma of eucalyptus. Ooh, so that's going to be fun. So, it also mentions black tea and spices. Now, I love perfumes with tea scents. I love chocolates with tea scents. I love ice cream with tea scents. So, anything floral and tea, I love. I will eat it in candy, desserts. I love tea, Earl Grey chocolates. Whew, that's all I'm going to say. If you haven't tried it, try it. I love stuff like that. So, that's bringing up my spirits. So, it's... Top notes are eucalyptus, not honey, but menthol honey, and I do not like menthol. Gumdrops, I like gumdrops, and mimosa. So heart notes are black tea, geranium, incense, spices, vetiver. That sounds really intriguing. Base notes, musk, amber, love amber, oak moss, fan, vanilla, and sandalwood. They always say vanilla, and I never smell that vanilla. It's lies. It's probably not lies. It's just the other scents are so strong. It's just vanilla is one of my favorites. I know. Everybody's like, brilliant. So, yes. So this one is $175 if you are interested in this. I don't know if I am. Nice and green and happy inside. So cute. You just gotta love this. And it tells the little story and, such a classy brand. So, here we go. Oh boy. Can't smell anything through the bottle. But we're going to on our wrist and always on our clothing. Okay, I got one spray for once. Usually I do like 1.5 because it doesn't come out. And then, okay, Ooh, okay. That one is very strong menthol. The first thing that comes out of the gate is, ooh, the menthol. You know what it is? It's kind of like when you put a menthol rub on your chest when you're a kid. And that's what this smells like at first. It's like that menthol rub. I feel like I'm getting Vicks all over my chest. It's like, breathe, damn it. Because you have a cold. I ended up getting pneumonia a couple times apparently as a kid. Not fun. I don't remember it. I was like 1 and 3, so all right, blanked it out. But so it's a scent though that whenever I'd catch a cold or something, it was like, put this on your chest. So they wanted to make sure it didn't get any further. So there you go. But I definitely get that kind of menthol. It's that Vicks menthol rub. Not my favorite, but you know, definitely conjuring up memories. And then you get the eucalyptus coming through. Interesting. So then, especially in the skin, it starts morphing as it always does with these. That's what makes this so incredible. The oak moss is coming really to the forefront. Like I'm really getting that oak moss and the floral scent. Ooh, that's kind of nice. So the initial spray is very jarring. I mean, nobody's going to argue that. It very much is Vicks rub with eucalyptus. Somebody's got a cold and they are trying to like push it out. And but once you get past that, it's the eucalyptus is still there. The menthol kind of takes a step back, but it adds a little sharp little boop to it, which is good because it's not the main player at that point. It's just like one of the, you know, one of the ensemble in the back that's just really good and making, you know, like making the show better. So that's what it is. And then you get this beautiful sweetness. Oh, it's the honey. The honey's come forward. So it's eucalyptus, but very lightly with honey and then a sweet flower. Now they're saying mimosa, and I think mimosa was the only flower there. But it is. It's the menthol honey that's very light. The honey is actually stronger mixed with the eucalyptus and the oak moss. That is nice. So what flower is it? Gumdrops. I don't get gumdrops. I mean, there's a sweetness in there, but really, I mean, do you know? Yeah, I do know what gumdrops smell like, actually. But yeah, there's the mimosa, geranium. Yeah, amber. I guess if you're looking for it, you can see the amber. I love amber. I love amber, and so I'm very familiar with the scent. You can kind of get it deep in there, but oh, wow. I don't get the black tea. I definitely get the spices. Yeah, and you do. Oh, that's strange. The incense comes through. Wow, that's wild. That is really wild. This one, I mean, all of them in general, I will say, just have this strange morphing power where I know usually the mid or heart notes come out within 10, 15, 20 minutes, but this moves quicker than some other perfumes, or maybe it's just my body chemistry, but wow, it just changes so quickly. I could sit here for 10 minutes and it would be a different scent until it completely settles, but that's just amazing. On my shirt, it's definitely more menthol eucalyptus. So the initial blast is still on my shirt. So eucalyptus, menthol with honey. More honey here. Well, this one just keeps changing. Oh, that's interesting. So it almost smells soapy. It almost smells soapy with a sweet vanilla, slight menthol, eucalyptus, and now I'm getting a hint of animal. A very slight hint of what I smelled in camel. Very, very slight. But it's there. Yeah. You get a little bit of that koala hind end. But it's not distracting and it's not bad, actually. It's only like if you're like if somebody was all up on you, then they'd be smelling that. I mean, maybe you want somebody to. It depends on the person, but most people are never going to get that close to get that animalistic kind of scent to it. And it's very slight. It wasn't like camel where it was like, whoa. This is very slight. Very slight. And you get the beautiful, like there's like incense in it. Wow. This one's wild. This one is wild. I really thought that I was going to dislike this one because of the notes, but actually, oof. But I could see if you put it on your clothing how, well, your nose would clear up because of the menthol and eucalyptus. It would definitely clear. It's like, so there you go. This works double for you. It could work as a medical device and as a fragrance, but if you put it on your clothing, but it changes very differently, at least on my chemistry, on my actual skin. So, wow, that's really interesting. Wow, I just didn't expect that. It's like, this is such an interesting house because every time I try something, it just morphs. And I could sit here for an hour and just keep describing the different notes, but I'm not going to do that because these videos are long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take an hour and we are going to revisit Koala at that time. All right, it has been an hour and Koala is still going strong. We're buddies. Yeah, so this is just, I don't want to like these as much as I do. I really don't because I just don't want to like these as much as I do is how I'm feeling with these. Because these are fantastic. When they're really good, they're really good. And this is beautiful. So, I can still smell it around me. It has good projection. Not projection, it actually doesn't have a lot of projection. I think if you want to go outside of your bubble space and leave a little bit of sillage or a little trail behind you, you would need to do a good 4 spritzes. And so you'd have to suffer the consequences in the first 30 minutes because they're very strong. But then they mellow out. And to really, really get the scent, I do feel like you're going to need 3 to 4 good sized squirts. And except for T-Rex, never do that. But with the ones I've tried so far. And with this one, I can still smell it. But the 2 don't necessarily have what I like, a little bit more projection. But again, on skin, it's not going to last as long. But it is still there. It is still wonderful. I love this. I didn't think I would because I'm not a fan of eucalyptus nor menthol, but here we are. It's soapy. It's like this beautiful eucalyptus soapy smell to it. It's so light and just so pleasant. The animalistic scent that was there before is completely gone. Oh my gosh, it's just a beautiful, like, I can get a little bit of amber. Amber pulls out well for me, though. I love amber. So I get this beautiful sweetness of honey and amber with just a hint of eucalyptus and menthol mixed together with just a touch of, a touch of, like, incense. This is so beautiful. Oh, my, I know. This is beautiful. I thought I was going to really dislike this one. Oh my gosh. So let's smell it on clothing. Okay, this is, sometimes on clothing it doesn't morph, but with this one it is, and oh wow. So this one is incense and honey. Incense, honey, and eucalyptus. Not as much menthol and amber. I've been doing a lot because this is so good. The projection, like I said, oh, there's that animalistic scent. Yep, I just nailed it. It's there a little bit. Just a tad bit, only if you have your nose against it. If you're doing this, you're not going to smell it, but oh. This is so good. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to like anymore. I want to hate these. Because this is going to be an expensive year. Maybe this was a really bad project, but that's okay. That's okay. You can't take it with you, so you got to spend it sometimes. So there you go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in at the 4.5, 5 hour mark. And the reality is I am finding that most of these tend to peter out around the 4.5, 5 hour mark. which is fine. You can carry it with you, take your little sampler and make it through the day. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back at around that 5-hour mark and we will discuss. And here we are on the 5th hour of wearing Koala from Zoologist. And when I move around quickly from my shirt, it wafts up, and so I'm still smelling it. Definitely on my skin. Definitely still on my skin. It's just, to really knock it out of the park, I think you'd need about 4 sprays, like I said before, it'd be really strong for the first 30 minutes. So maybe do it while you're working on your makeup or eating your breakfast and then go out into the world. But on the skin, oh, it's good. It smells a little bit medicinal at this stage on my skin chemistry. You get the menthol and the eucalyptus again. With the sweet honey, there's a sweet honey and incense and a tad bit of something floral. But I definitely still get the eucalyptus, still get a tiny twinge of that menthol. Something like the honey, the sweet incense honey with a touch of floral, and it is just fantastic. Now on my shirt, of course it's going to be a little bit different. That's nice. That is so nice. Oh gosh, I don't even know what to, it's more incense. It's more of a creamy incense. Honestly, reading the notes, I really wasn't too excited about this one because I really don't like eucalyptus. I really don't like menthol. This changed my mind. This is absolutely fantastic. I thought this brand would be so much harder to wear than it is, but actually it really isn't. And what I like about these scent profiles is that they're very different. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, especially in the mainstream, where you get a lot of the scents cranking out kind of very similar because you can only use certain notes so many ways. And with Zoologist, it's adding a whole different twist to it. And oh, this is so good. I would say this leans a little bit more unisex than some of the other ones like Nightingale or Hummingbird, which is fantastic. This leans a little bit, for me, a little bit more unisex, but I don't care. I think this is wonderful. If it depends how your body pulls, your body chemistry pulls scents, but if you want something bright with a little bit of an undertone of darkness, it's not even darkness, but a little bit of deepness underneath that brightness, you're going to get that eucalyptus. You're going to get a little bit of menthol, that touch of, I call it incense honey, which just sounds so good. that the incense adds a little bit of a smolder underneath the eucalyptus and the menthol, which is very bright. And then that honey just sweetens up what could be too medicinal. The honey sweetens it, and the incense just adds a little bit of something deep underneath it, this little undertone, and it is so fantastic. I think that this one has decent longevity. I think if you use 4 sprays, it would last a lot longer than some of the other ones. I think that on clothing, it morphs very differently than it does on the initial blast. It really does. It's more of like an incense fragrance to me, a sweet, delicious candied incense. I love this. I absolutely adore this. Now I have so many more to try, and I'm worried I'm going to love them all, and I'll want them all, and I really think that this will work for so many people. If you do not like eucalyptus and menthol like I don't, do not be afraid to try this sample, because it may morph into something so beautiful on you, and it did. This is on my list. This is on my list of something to buy. It really is. It's high up there along with Hummingbird. So far, there are a few that I would buy of this collection. On a scale of 9 to 10, where would I put Koala? I'd put this at a solid 9. It's not quite, it doesn't quite take out Hummingbird, which is a 9.5. And now that things are starting to move, I could see Nightingale, which is beautiful, not being dropped down a little bit to a 9. And this one at a 9, and Hummingbird just goes a little bit above, but a 9 out of 10 is still pretty darn good. So once I'm done with the whole series, I'll rate them all again and we'll discuss it. But this, I never expected it. Kudos to you, zoologist, because I never would have thought I would have been interested in any of these notes. And when I saw I picked this one, I was a little disappointed. Don't go into it like that. Don't go into it like that. Go in with a very open mind with these scents, and you could possibly be wowed. And I was. So with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye. It's not koala though, it's Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, Mary being in the bourgeoisie. Laugh, Kookaburra, gay your life must be. I don't really remember that, and I don't know how I know that song.